Good morning. This is Yvonne Cooper, USA Niagara's Acting Corporate Secretary. I'd like to welcome everyone to this morning's meeting. Before we formally begin, I would like to ask that everyone please mute your lines unless you are speaking. We'll begin today by taking a roll call of the directors to ensure we have a quorum present on the line. Please be so kind as to say present when we call your name. Francine Del Monte,
Present.
Michael Williamson,
Present.
Scott Bridges,
Present.
Dr. Shonda Foote.
Present.
Thank you all so much for joining today. Chair Del Monte, you are ready to begin.
Thank you, Yvonne. I'm pleased to call to order the meeting of the directors of the USA Niagara Development Corporation for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. I will ask, as Yvonne mentioned earlier, that we all mute our phones until you are ready to speak. Also, for the record, I will ask that anyone wishing to speak to please state your name before you begin. I am noting for the record that in accordance with recently passed legislation, this meeting will be conducted by teleconference. I will also note for the record that the public was given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments by 4:30 p.m. on Friday. I'd like to further note for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to the items on the agenda. If so, I would ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourselves from any discussion or vote regarding such items. No one has any issues. I'd like to bring our first order of business, which is the approval of the minutes of the June 21st, 2021 Directors Meeting.
Chandra Foote, move approval.
Director Williamson, second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. I would now like to call upon Anthony Velardo to present the next item on today's agenda, a request for the corporation to adopt a pre-qualified real estate development and planning-related consultant list. Anthony, when you're ready.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Among its many functions, the New York State Urban Development Corporation, or ESD, and its subsidiaries, including the USA Niagara Development Corporation, implement or facilitate a large number of complex economic development projects and initiatives. In order to enable the corporation to respond to solicitation of the needs of these projects expeditiously, while providing it with the benefits of a broad solicitation of qualified outside real estate development and planning firms, the Real Estate Design and Construction, Environmental and Planning Department staff requires a list of pre-qualified firms. ESD staff conducted a broad solicitation of interested R&E and planning firms and reviewed submissions and compiled a list of pre-qualified firms. The ESD Board of Directors adopted a list. It is in your attachment A on September 14th, 2021, and it is now recommended for adoption by its subsidiary, USA Niagara, and their Board of Directors. It is recommended that this list remain in effect for 4 years. Please note that no individual firm is being recommended at this time for retention in connection with any particular matter and no funding being authorized. Rather, only a pre-qualified list is being approved. The staff recommends and the directors are requested to approve the firms on attachment A to these materials as pre-qualified firms in the area of expertise identified in such amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. I'd like to remind everyone to please state your name before speaking. Are there any questions or comments from the directors regarding this item? And I'd like to make it clear that, as noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public with regard to this item. I'd appreciate a motion for approval.
Director Williamson, so moved.
I have a second.
Chandra Foote, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Anthony, please present today's final agenda item, a request for authorization for the corporation to enter into a management agreement for the Niagara Falls Conference and Convention Center and Old Fall Street.
Thank you, Chairwoman. On July 27, 2020, the USA Niagara approved an amendment to an agreement further extending the term by 1 year with Spectra, Global Spectrum, who's doing business as Spectra Venue Management. This term began on January 1st, 2021 and expires on December 31st, 2021. On May 17th of this year, we received an exemption from the New York State Contract Reporter, which was approved by ESD as a single source provider. Since the beginning of USA Niagara's ownership of the Conference Center Niagara Falls in 2004 and management of Old Fall Street in 2009, USAN has conducted several competitive procurements for a private sector operator to manage both venues. Due to the current worldwide COVID-19 pandemic crisis, the tourism industry continues to suffer through a time of tremendous negative economic impact. During this unprecedented time, USA Niagara examined its procurement options, noting that a procurement of a new private contractor operator during these times was extremely unfavorable given the market conditions and would not be in the best interest of the corporation. Moreover, USA Niagara also reviewed similar publicly owned facilities across the state and region, many of whom are managed by a quasi-government local destination marketing organization or a subsidiary of said DMO. These include the Erie County-owned Buffalo Niagara Convention Center, managed by Visit Buffalo Niagara, and the Rochester, New York Joseph A. Fiorello Riverside Convention Center, managed by the Rochester Convention Center Management Corporation. As the official destination marketing organization for the City of Niagara Falls and Niagara County, Destination Niagara is a registered 501c6 not-for-profit corporation. Its mission is to expand on economic prosperity of the Niagara Falls community by generating individual and group visitation. Destination Niagara inspires leisure and business travelers to explore not only the iconic waterfalls, but everything else that Niagara Falls and the Niagara region has to offer as its expansive and diverse destination. Destination Niagara is uniquely positioned to manage CCNF and OFS as it understands the local convention and meeting business and knows how to attract events, corporate meetings, and convention groups. With Destination Niagara managing the Conference Center and Old Fall Street, they will bring a management advantage by being able to elevate the product, control the brand, increase sales, and provide a level of synergy not available elsewhere. As a not-for-profit, Destination Niagara will also bring a financial advantage by not charging the types of fees that the corporation has incurred previously with private sector operators, enabling more of our resources to be reinvested into the development of the building and the street. We are asking the directors, number one, to make a determination of responsibility with respect to the proposed contractor, and two, authorize the corporation to enter into a contract with Destination Niagara in accordance with these materials in the amount not to exceed $1.6 million. That is $1.5 million for a first-year subsidy and $100,000 in an improved transition budget. And three, to authorize the taking of all related actions. Before I turn over to Chairwoman Del Monte, I just want to, for the record, provide a point of clarification that was brought up during the Destination Niagara board meeting earlier this morning on page 8, which is the proposed term sheet between USA Niagara and Destination Niagara. Under the section of operating subsidy, it says not to exceed 1,5000,00. There's an inadvertent extra zero in there. It is indeed $1.5 million and not $15 million. Also, for the record, we are joined here in our office this morning by John Percy, the President and CEO of Destination Niagara, and Andrea Zopp, the Director of Operations for Destination Niagara, both of whom will play a large role in the management of CCNF and OFS. Thank you, Chairwoman and Directors.
Thank you, Anthony. Again, I'd like to remind everyone to please state your names before speaking. Are there any questions or comments from the directors regarding this item?
Yes, this is Director Foote. On page 1 of the consideration, I found where the zero goes, I think, under the contract amount not to exceed 1.6. it's the transition budget of 100,000, and we're missing a zero there.
Sorry, I'm just making sure.
Page 1 of this for consideration memo.
Yeah.
Down under contract amount.
Okay, there it is.
That's where the zero goes, Anthony.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good eyes, Chandra.
All right, so yes, for the record, the subsidy is $1,500,000. The transition budget is $100,000. And that will assist them in doing a number of key things, including, but not limited to, a new website for the facility, marketing materials. They have to go through a search process to hire staff. There's a number of associated transition costs that will be associated with Destination Niagara.
Would any other directors like to speak? Listen, just for my own, I think this is a great marriage of two entities who have very similar goals. And I can't express enough my support for Destination Niagara and for the good things I believe they are going to be able to do with the properties that they'll be overseeing with the execution of this agreement. So I wish them well, and I say congratulations to all that were involved in USA Niagara and Destination Niagara in forging this agreement. And I look forward to great things happening downtown. Anybody else? I'd like to note that we do not have any comments from the public regarding this item. And now it gives me great pleasure to ask for a motion for approval on this item.
This is Director Scott Williamson, Bridges. I would so make the moved. motion. Director Williamson, second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Director Foote, motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
Director Bridges, second.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, directors. Thank you, Anthony, and your team. The motion carries, and I wish everybody a good day, and thank you for your participation in today's meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, directors and Chairwoman Del Monte.
We're good?
Thank you.
Signing off.